Okay, so today what we're going to do is use a technique called chromatography, which allows you to separate out different pigments in like a liquid mixture, like in a marker. So this is actually black ink that we've separated, and it shows the blues and things that make up the black ink. So to make one of these, and again, you can make them in all different shapes. This is kind of like a butterfly. You can do like a little sunset. There's all kinds of options. But to do the technique, you need to have 2 coffee filters. You need scissors, a black marker, and then a cup with some water in it. And this size actually works pretty well. So all you do is you need to first make a wick to draw water up so that it can have contact with the marker. So take one of the coffee filters and fold it and cut it in half. And then you're going to sort of fold this a few times to make like almost like a little wick, like if you had a candle or something. And I'm actually going to cut the bottom off because when I look, it's kind of projecting pretty high, and it doesn't need to. So I'm going to go like that. It should be able, it's going to sit into the water and be kind of suspended, so it shouldn't be super long. So something like that works pretty well. And then what I want to do, I'm going to basically put the wick into my other coffee filter to allow the water to spread across the filter. So I need to cut a little hole for the wick to go up in, and so you want to try to go as small as you possibly can. So I'm going to go teeny little hole like that in the center and open it back up, and then I'm going to, it's a tiny little hole there. And then what I'm going to do is draw a little pattern. And so you could put dots in different places around the center, or I'm going to go with sort of a part smiley face, kind of like this, you know? And then I'm going to put a dot here and a dot here. This is what I did to sort of do the butterfly. It almost looks like a smiley face, actually. But you could put little dots or whatever. But the key is the water is going to come up through the center and then kind of bleed outward. And as it bleeds outward, it's going to pick up some of the pigment, and the pigment's going to travel with it. So you'll get different patterns. And you can try out all different markers, all different patterns. Browns tend to have a bunch of colors in them, so there's a lot of neat options. The blacks almost always have some good things in them. So looks like I got it all over my table too, but whatever. So I have my little pattern that I drew, and I'm going to take the wick that I made, and again, you might have to kind of twist it a little bit or whatever. I just want it to be kind of a little like column, like so. Kind of looks funny, like you're sticking, like he has a nose or something. And then I'm going to bring it over, and then you need the water like half full or something. It just has to come in contact so that it can be drawn up. And so I'm just going to lay it on there like so, and then you give it a minute. And if you could come in close, there we go. If we could come in on top and close, we could see how the water is basically, it's going to go outward, and so the water is going to pick the pigment right up, and it's going to pull it to the outskirts. It's called radial chromatography. There's all kinds of chromatography, but this one is where the water starts at the center and goes out. And so I'll let it go for a little while, and within a few minutes you get basically the pattern that I got here. So if you want to go to the side a little, you get this sort of a pattern. So that's what I did with the black. So any color I think works. The black is great, the browns are great, but you can try any color, and you can also try any pattern of dotting along the inside, and you find that they'll come out a little differently. So okay.